There is a glow in your quiet room, isn't there? It's a small and lonely moon you hold in your hand. In the deep, soft darkness, it is the only thing that seems to shine, pulling your gaze, your hope, your attention into its cool, smooth surface. The world outside has gone still. The sounds of the day have faded into a gentle hum. And here, in the sanctuary of your bed, you are waiting. You are watching that small rectangle of light, a silent vigil for a connection you feel you need. The motion is so familiar, a ritual of the modern heart. The thumb hovers, swipes, refreshes. A quick scan for a name, a notification, a sign that you are seen, that you are remembered. And with each pass, a quiet story is told, a flicker of hope, followed by the familiar, hollow echo of its absence. It is a unique kind of quiet ache, this waiting. It's not loud or dramatic. It is a persistent, gentle hum beneath the surface of your thoughts. A background process that consumes so much energy without ever making a sound. You are not alone in this feeling. Across the world, in millions of other quiet rooms just like yours, countless other small moons are glowing, held by people just like you, all of them caught in the same patient, painful orbit of hope. We check for a message, a response, a signal from the outside that we are a part of something. But what if the peace we are searching for on that screen cannot be found there? What if the validation we crave from another is a whisper that can only be heard when all the other noises, including this bright one, have been silenced? This is the journey we will begin tonight. Not a journey of forcing or fighting, but one of gentle turning. We will explore the landscape of this waiting, not as a flaw, but as a profound and universal human experience. Together, we will trace the shape of this longing back to its source, and by the time the night deepens into true rest, we will discover something remarkable. That the light you have been searching for in your hand is but a faint reflection of a much warmer, steadier light that has been patiently waiting within you all along. The peace you seek is not in the message that arrives, but in the moment you realize you are whole, even if it never does. So, let us begin this transformation with a single, gentle act. There is no pressure here, only a quiet invitation. Feel the phone in your hand. Notice its weight, its temperature, the smooth texture of the glass against your skin. It has been your companion in this waiting, a conduit for your hope. And now, with a conscious and gentle intention, simply turn it over. Place its screen down on your nightstand, or perhaps on the floor beside your bed. Let the screen face the floorboards. Let its light be swallowed by the surface it rests upon. There is a finality in this small movement. The little moon has set. The room is now enveloped in a different kind of darkness, a more complete and honest darkness. Your eyes may take a moment to adjust. You might see faint shapes emerge from the shadows, the outline of a window, the silhouette of a chair. This is the world that was here all along, obscured by that one insistent point of light. Now, without the screen to capture your focus, where does your attention go? Let it drift to the simple, physical truths of this moment. Feel the weight of your head on the pillow. Notice how it yields, how it cradles you. Allow the muscles in your neck and shoulders to release their grip, even just a little. Bring your awareness to the fabric of your blankets, the gentle pressure they exert on your body. This pressure is a constant, steady embrace, a quiet reminder that you are held, you are supported, you are here. The air in the room has a texture, a temperature. Feel it on your exposed skin, your face, your hands. It is real. It is present. It is not asking for anything from you. It is simply here, with you, in the quiet. You may feel an echo of the urge, a ghost of the impulse to reach for the phone again. A thought might flicker. What if the message arrives right now? Notice this thought. See it for what it is. A well-worn neural pathway, a habit of the mind. You do not need to follow it. You do not need to fight it. Simply observe it as you would observe a cloud passing in the sky, and then gently, lovingly, guide your attention back to your body. Guide it back to the feeling of the mattress beneath you, solid and unwavering. This simple act of putting the phone down is the first and most crucial step in a profound metamorphosis. You have just turned away from a world of seeking and have taken a step into a world of being. You have shifted your focus from a source of external validation to the vast, quiet landscape of your own inner experience. The silence in the room might feel louder now, more pronounced. For so long, the possibility of a notification, of a buzz or a chime has filled this space. Now, that possibility is removed, and what is left is a pure, uncluttered stillness. This stillness is not empty. It is not a void. It is a space of potential. It is the fertile ground from which rest grows. It is the deep, calm water that has been waiting patiently beneath the turbulent surface of your hope and disappointment. In this gentle darkness, a different kind of communication can begin. It is not a message that travels through wires or airwaves, but a message that rises from within. It is the language of your own body, the rhythm of your own breath, the steady, faithful beat of your own heart. This is the message you were truly waiting to receive. It says, I am here. It says, you are safe. It says, all is well. And it has been speaking to you all along, waiting for you to simply put down the distractions and listen. The journey has begun. You have chosen the quiet of your own presence over the noise of the world. And in this quiet, in this darkness, the real transformation can finally unfold. Even with the phone turned over, you can still feel its presence, can't you? It's like a phantom limb of your attention. Your mind knows exactly where it is, its orientation, its silent potential. And with this awareness comes the quiet echo of the impulse. Let's stay with that for a moment, without any judgment, but with a gentle and spacious curiosity. Consider the reflex itself, that compulsive twitch of the thumb, the almost unconscious reach of the hand. It is not a decision, not really. It feels more like an instinct, like a plant turning its leaves toward a distant sun. It's a biological urge that arises from a deep and quiet place within you. This is not a weakness. It is a testament to the power of hope. The hope that is being kept alive by this cycle of checking is a very specific and delicate thing. It's not a grand, world-changing hope. It is a small, personal, and incredibly persistent one. It is the hope to be seen, the hope to be chosen, the hope to know that in the vast, silent network of the world, a single thread of connection is still aimed in your direction. This hope is a quiet, persistent ache. It lives in the space between your breaths. It's the feeling that a crucial piece of your well-being is being held in someone else's hands, in their inbox, in their decision to reply or to remain silent. It is a profound state of vulnerability. And the act of checking the phone is a way to manage that vulnerability. Each time you look, you are asking the universe a question. Am I still connected? Do I still matter in that small corner of the world? The screen's response, whether it is lit with a notification or remains dark and unchanged, gives you a momentary answer. And for a moment, the uncertainty is resolved. But the peace or the disappointment is fleeting. And soon, the question arises again, and the reflex to check follows close behind. This cycle is one of the most powerful rituals of our modern age. We may not see it as such, but it has all the hallmarks of a sacred rite. Think about it. There is an object of focus, this smooth, dark stone of glass and metal. There is a repeated, specific gesture, the swipe, the tap, the refresh. And there is a deep, underlying intention, a prayer sent out into the digital ether. Let there be a message for me. It is a small prayer for belonging, a quiet chant for reassurance. We are performing this ritual constantly, in line at the grocery store, at a red light, and here, in the final, quiet moments of the day. We are casting a small spell, hoping to conjure a feeling of connection from the invisible currents of data that flow all around us. There is no shame in this ritual. Humanity has always searched for signs. We have looked to the patterns of stars, the flight of birds, the shape of tea leaves in a cup, all for the same reason you look at your phone. We are all just looking for a sign that we are not alone in the vastness. We are looking for an echo to our own call. The hope that fuels this ritual is kept on life support. The constant checking is the machine that keeps its fragile heartbeat going. A notification is a jolt of life, a confirmation that the connection is still there. The silence is a flat line, a terrifying stillness that makes you want to check again, to adjust the settings, to make sure the machine is still working. We tell ourselves we are just checking for information, but that is rarely the whole truth. We are checking for a feeling. The message itself is often secondary to the emotional payload it carries. The content of the text is less important than the simple fact of its arrival. Its arrival says, "I was thinking of you." It says, "You crossed my mind." And in that moment, the quiet ache is soothed. The feeling of being adrift is momentarily calmed. You are anchored once again to another person's world. But this anchor is external. Its strength is not your own. And so, you must check on it, again and again, to ensure it still holds. This is the nature of the hope on life support. It is dependent. It is fragile. It consumes your energy, your precious attention, your peace of mind, just to keep it breathing. As you lie here, in the comforting darkness of your room, allow yourself to simply observe this mechanism within you. See the part of you that is the hopeful patient, lying in the bed, waiting for a sign of life. See the part of you that is the frantic doctor, constantly checking the monitors, adjusting the wires, refusing to let that hope fade. You are both. You are the one who waits, and you are the one who tends to the waiting. And by seeing this, by understanding this internal drama with compassion, you introduce a third character. You become the gentle, wise observer, the one who can see the whole picture, the one who can place a calming hand on the frantic doctor and say, "It's okay. Let's just watch for a moment. Let's just breathe." You can feel the truth of this within your own body. Remember the last time you checked. Can you recall the subtle physical sensations? The slight tensing of the shoulders as you reached for the phone. The way you might have held your breath for a split second as the screen lit up. The rush of chemicals, a tiny spike of adrenaline or cortisol, as your brain prepared for either a reward or a disappointment. This is a real physiological process. Your body is intimately involved in this ritual of hope. It is not just in your mind. It is in your muscles, your nerves, your very chemistry. Tonight, we are simply noticing it. We are not trying to fix it or to stop it. We are bringing the light of gentle awareness to it. We are acknowledging this profound human need for connection and the modern technological ritual we have built around it. And in this simple, compassionate act of witnessing, something powerful begins to shift. The ritual starts to lose its compulsive power. The hope, so long sustained by an external machine, begins to learn that it can breathe on its own. Let's go a little deeper into the feeling of that moment. The moment of the check. Without needing to pick up your phone, you can call it to mind with perfect clarity. You know this feeling as well as you know the feeling of your own heartbeat. It is a tiny, complete emotional journey, a whole drama played out in the space of 3 seconds. First, there is the spark of anticipation. As your hand reaches, your mind is already leaping ahead. A tiny, almost imperceptible surge of optimism. Maybe this time. This spark is the engine of the entire cycle. It's a flicker of light in the darkness of not knowing, and it's compelling, almost addictive. It promises a resolution to the quiet tension of waiting. For a microsecond, the future is full of possibility. The message you've been hoping for is not just possible. It feels probable, imminent. Your whole nervous system attunes to this possibility, like a radio dial being turned to a specific frequency. And then the screen illuminates. And in that instant, your eyes scan the lock screen, a lightning-fast sweep for a banner, a badge, a name. And when you see nothing new, when the screen reflects back to you only the same static wallpaper and the slow, indifferent march of the clock, the second act of the drama begins. It is the quiet, familiar fall, the gentle, sinking feeling of disappointment. It's not a crashing wave of despair. It's more like a tide slowly going out, leaving the shore feeling a little more empty, a little more exposed. The spark of anticipation is extinguished as quickly as it was lit, leaving behind the faintest trace of smoke, a lingering scent of what might have been. The tension, for a moment, is gone, but it has been replaced by a hollow stillness. The question, "Am I seen?" has been answered with a quiet, implicit, "Not right now." And your body registers this. A subtle deflation in the chest, a slight drop in your energy. The muscles in your hand that were poised with purpose now relax into a kind of listlessness. This entire rise and fall can happen 10, 20, 50 times a day. Each one is a tiny emotional roller coaster. And while each individual journey is small, the cumulative effect is profound. It is a constant agitation of your inner peace, a repeated stirring of the calm waters of your heart. It trains your mind to exist in a state of perpetual anticipation and frequent, low-grade disappointment. It is a profound form of self-exhaustion. Think of your phone, lying there in the darkness, as a lighthouse. In this metaphor, you are the lighthouse keeper, and the message you are waiting for is a ship you desperately want to see sailing toward your shore. All day long, and especially now, in the quiet of the night, you have been faithfully operating this lighthouse. You send its powerful beam of light, your attention, your focus, your hope, sweeping across the vast, dark sea of the digital world. The beam sweeps out, searching the horizon. It illuminates nothing. It sweeps back. You wait a moment, and then compulsively, you send it out again. Sweep. Nothing. Sweep. Nothing. Each sweep is an act of profound faith. You are pouring your energy into this beam, believing that it is the only way to guide the ship home. But as you lie here now, consider this. What if the ship you are looking for is simply not sailing tonight? It is not a reflection on you, the lighthouse keeper. Your light is bright. Your watch has been diligent, but the sea is vast, and the ship has its own course, its own weather to navigate. Your sweeping beam cannot conjure it out of the water. It can only reveal what is already there. And tonight, what is there is the peaceful, empty expanse of the sea. Continuing to sweep the beam across it will not change this reality. It will only drain the oil from your lamp. It will only exhaust you, the faithful keeper, leaving you tired and disheartened in your lonely tower. The quiet disappointment you feel is not just an emotion, it is a physical reality. Take a moment to scan your own body right now, here in the darkness. Where does this feeling of waiting live? For many of us, it settles in the shoulders, a subtle, chronic tension, a feeling of being braced for something. It's as if your shoulders are constantly preparing to either celebrate a victory or absorb a blow. Allow them to soften. Let them fall away from your ears. Let them melt into the mattress beneath you. The waiting also lives in the jaw. Notice if your teeth are clenched, even slightly. Is there a tightness in the muscles around your mouth? This is the face of quiet determination, of holding on. See if you can create a little space between your upper and lower teeth. Let your tongue rest gently in the bottom of your mouth. Let your whole face grow soft and slack, releasing the mask of anticipation. And of course, the waiting lives in your hands. Your hands, which have been the instruments of this ritual. They may still hold a ghost of the shape of your phone. They may feel a strange energy, a readiness to act, to reach, to refresh. Consciously unfurl your fingers. Let them rest, open and receptive, palms facing up or down on the bed beside you. Feel the air on your palms. Feel the texture of the sheets against your fingertips. Let your hands simply be at rest. They have done enough work for one day. By noticing this physical tension, you are not trying to force it away. You are simply acknowledging it. You are meeting it with awareness. You are saying, I see you. I understand that you are the physical residue of my hope and my waiting. And in this gentle seeing, the tension often begins to release on its own. It is like a tightly coiled spring that, once observed, can finally begin to slowly and safely unwind. The lighthouse beam has stopped its frantic sweeping. The light is now turned inward, illuminating these forgotten corners of your own physical being. And in this gentle, inner light, you are not finding an empty sea. You are finding yourself. You are finding the weary keeper who deserves to rest. The ship will come when it comes, or it will not. But tonight, your work is done. The light is for you now. The peace is for you. Let's shift our perspective for a moment. The phone is not just a symbol of your waiting. It is also a physical object, a thing in the world. As it lies there on your nightstand, face down, it is inert, silent. It is a small, smooth stone of glass and metal and silicone. In the daylight, it is black or silver or rose gold. In the darkness of your room, it is just a shape, a cool presence. For a moment, let's strip away all the meaning we have projected onto it. It is not a portal to connection or a barometer of our worth. It is not a source of lack or a vessel of hope. It is, for now, just an object. Feel its objectness without touching it. It has weight. It has defined edges. It is cool to the touch. It has a specific place, in the space of your room. By seeing it this way, as just a thing, you begin to reclaim your power from it. You separate the object itself from the complex web of emotions you have woven around it. It is just a stone, a beautifully crafted, technologically advanced stone, but a stone nonetheless. And you would never spend your night waiting for a stone to give you a sign. Now, let's consider what is happening inside that silent object. Even as it rests, it is not truly dormant. It is a node in a vast, invisible network. Think about the silent rivers of data flowing through it, even now. Wi-Fi signals, cellular data, Bluetooth waves, a constant, unseen torrent of information. It is a ghost river, carrying millions of conversations, pictures, videos, and notifications through the very space of your quiet room. A message from a mother to her son in a different time zone. A shared joke between old friends. A late-night work email. A picture of a sleeping cat. An entire universe of communication is whispering and shouting all around you, passing through the circuits of that small device. And here is the beautiful, liberating truth. None of it is for you. It is not your river. You are sitting peacefully on the riverbank, and you do not need to jump into its current. You do not need to try to catch any of the messages as they flow by. There is a profound peace in this detachment. Imagine yourself sitting by this invisible river of data. You can sense its flow, its immense energy, but you have no obligation to it. Its currents cannot pull you under. Its noise cannot disturb your peace. You are simply an observer. The vast majority of the world's communication is not and was never meant to be yours. And your peace comes from recognizing that your small corner of the world is right here, on the quiet bank, away from the rush. This allows you to see the message you were waiting for in its proper context. It is but one single drop of water in that immense, ever-flowing river. And whether that one drop arrives on your shore or flows on by does not change the nature of the river, nor does it diminish the solid ground on which you rest. Your stability is not dependent on catching that one drop. Now, let's contemplate the light. The light of the screen is an artificial light. It is designed to capture and hold your attention. It uses a specific spectrum of blue light that cleverly mimics the light of daytime, signaling to your brain to stay awake, to be alert, to pay attention. It is a demanding light. It says, "Look at me. What I have to show you is important." It pulls your focus outward into the world of information and external events. But now, that light is gone. And what has replaced it is a different quality of light, or rather, a different quality of darkness. The deep, natural darkness of your room. This is not an empty darkness. It is a living, breathing presence. It is the darkness of the womb, of the deep earth where seeds germinate, of the vast cosmos between the stars. It is a creative and restorative darkness. Unlike the screen's light, this darkness does not demand anything from you. It asks you to turn your attention inward. It invites you to release your focus on the external world and to explore the rich, fertile landscape of your own inner world. The screen's light is the light of doing, of seeking, of reacting. The room's darkness is the darkness of being, of resting, of healing. For so long tonight, you have been choosing the artificial light, believing it held the key to your peace. And now, you are simply allowing yourself to be held by the natural darkness, which has been here all along, patiently waiting for you to be ready for its gifts. In this deep, quiet darkness, your other senses come alive. Your hearing becomes more acute. You may notice the gentle hum of the house, the sound of your own breathing. Your sense of touch is heightened. You feel the softness of the pillow, the weight of the blanket, more vividly. This is the world that the screen's light eclipses. It is a world of subtle sensation, of physical presence, of being embodied right here, right now. The phone in your palm becomes a constellation of pixels, a tiny, man-made galaxy. But the darkness in your room holds the real universe. It holds the potential for dreams. It holds the potential for deep, cellular repair. It holds the quiet, unspoken wisdom of your own body. You have simply shifted your gaze from the artificial constellation to the true cosmos. The phone represents a borrowed light, a borrowed sense of connection. The darkness invites you to discover your own source of light, an inner glow that is not dependent on any external signal. It does not need to be recharged. It does not need a signal. It is the steady, gentle luminescence of your own life force, your own awareness. By putting the phone down, you have not plunged yourself into emptiness. You have simply changed constellations. You have turned away from a small, bright, and demanding cluster of stars and have allowed your eyes to adjust to the breathtaking, infinite expanse of your own inner sky. And here, in this vast, quiet space, the tiny drama of the unanswered message begins to seem very, very small indeed. It is one distant star in a sky filled with billions, and you are free to simply gaze at the whole magnificent view without needing any single star to shine just for you. This act of waiting, this modern ritual of checking a glowing screen, can sometimes feel intensely personal, even isolating. It can feel like a unique flaw in your own character, a private anxiety that no one else could possibly understand. But as you rest here in the quiet, let's gently zoom out. Let's place this feeling into a much larger, much older context. The truth is, this experience is not new. It is not a product of the digital age. It is one of the most ancient and universal echoes of the human heart. You are participating in a timeless human story, the story of waiting for a sign. For as long as we have been human, we have been waiting. The farmer waits for the rain, scanning the empty sky for a single cloud. The sailor waits for a favorable wind, watching the limp flag on the mast. A family waits for the return of a loved one from a long journey, their eyes fixed on the horizon of the road or the sea. A lonely soul waits for a letter, listening for the sound of the mail carrier's footsteps. The technology has changed from a distant smoke signal to a push notification, but the core human experience remains identical. The feeling in your chest as you wait for a text message is the very same feeling in the chest of an ancient Roman woman waiting for a messenger to arrive with news from the warfront. The hope, the anxiety, the vulnerability, it is a direct, unbroken thread connecting you to every human who has ever waited for something that mattered to them. See if you can feel this connection. You are not alone in this feeling tonight. You are part of a vast, invisible choir of waiters, spanning across all of history and all corners of the globe. This is not a personal failing. It is not a sign that you are too needy or too insecure. It is a profound and beautiful expression of your deepest, most human need, the need to feel seen, to feel valued, to belong. We are social creatures, woven together by threads of connection. Our sense of safety and well-being has always been tied to the strength of our bonds with others. To feel that a bond is fragile, or that a message has gone unanswered, is to feel a primal tremor of insecurity. Your nervous system is simply doing its ancient job. It is sounding a quiet alarm saying, "Pay attention, a connection may be at risk." The phone, in this context, is just the modern tool your brain has latched onto to monitor this vital information. So when you feel that compulsive urge to check, see it not as a weakness, but as an expression of love. It is the part of you that cares deeply about connection, the part of you that is trying its best to tend to your social heart. Can you offer that part of yourself a little compassion? Can you thank it for trying so hard to keep you safe and connected, even if its methods are leaving you exhausted? The real transformation, the true metamorphosis, begins in this very moment of understanding. It begins when we stop judging the pattern and start seeing it as a teacher. The cycle of checking and disappointment is not a prison. It is a signpost. It is pointing you toward a deeper need within yourself. What is this waiting really trying to tell you? The immediate answer might be, "I want this specific person to text me back." But if we look beneath that, what is the feeling you believe that text message will give you? A feeling of being desired? A feeling of being interesting? A feeling of being worthy of someone's time and attention? A feeling of reassurance that you have not been forgotten? These are the true messages you are waiting for, and the signpost of your compulsive checking is pointing you toward the realization that you have been looking for them in the wrong place. You have been outsourcing the job of making you feel worthy. You have handed the key to your own inner peace to someone else and are now waiting anxiously by the door, hoping they will come back and let you in. This pattern is the teacher that gently, or sometimes painfully, shows you that the key was never theirs to hold. It has been in your own pocket all along. This is not to say that connection with others is not important. It is vital. It is one of the great joys of being alive. But the transformation we are exploring tonight is the shift from a dependent connection to a sovereign one. It is the journey from needing another person's validation to feel whole, to approaching connection from a place of inherent wholeness. You learn to generate your own feelings of worthiness, of being seen, of being valued. And then, when a message does arrive, it is not a desperate drink of water for a person dying of thirst. It is a joyful, welcome rain shower for a garden that is already well tended and thriving. The message becomes a beautiful addition to your peace, not the sole source of it. This is a subtle but life-altering shift. It is the metamorphosis from waiting to being, from seeking to having, from hoping to knowing. So as you lie here, feel the truth of this universal echo. The discomfort you have been feeling is not a punishment. It is a calling. It is your own deeper wisdom, speaking to you through the language of this modern ritual. It is calling you to come home to yourself. It is inviting you to stop scanning the empty digital horizon and to turn your gaze toward the rich, fertile, and ever-present landscape within. The message you have been waiting for is not one that can be typed with two thumbs. It is a message that must be felt, embodied, and discovered in the quiet stillness of your own heart. And the pattern of waiting was simply the guide that led you to the doorway of this profound discovery. It has served its purpose. It has brought you here. And now you can thank it, and gently you can let it go. You are standing at a threshold now. Behind you is the well-worn path of checking and waiting. In front of you is a quieter, less traveled path that leads inward. And with your next breath, you can choose to take the first step. The journey inward begins with a single, gentle turn of your attention. For so long tonight, and perhaps for days or weeks, a significant portion of your awareness has been directed outward, focused on that small device and the world it represents. It's as if a part of your soul has been living outside of your body, hovering near your phone, waiting in a digital anteroom. Now is the time to call it back home. The first place to turn your attention is to the phantom vibrations. This is a fascinating and common phenomenon of our time. The feeling that your phone has just buzzed in your pocket or on the nightstand, only to check and find nothing there. Your nervous system has become so attuned to waiting for a signal that it begins to generate false positives. It is a sign of a mind on high alert, a sensory system trained to an almost painful degree of sensitivity. Right now, you might feel an echo of that feeling, a subtle internal buzzing, a feeling of restlessness. This is the energy of your outward-facing attention. It is the hum of the lighthouse lamp, still warm even after being turned off. Let's not fight this feeling. Let's work with it. The most powerful and reliable anchor you have to bring your attention home is your own breath. It is always with you. It is always in the present moment. And it is a real physical sensation, not a phantom one. So, bring your awareness to the feeling of your breath wherever you notice it most easily. It might be the cool air entering your nostrils. It might be the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Or perhaps it's the soft expansion of your abdomen. There is no right or wrong place to feel it. Simply choose one spot and let your attention rest there, like a hand gently placed on a sleeping animal. You don't need to change your breath in any way. You are not trying to breathe more deeply or more slowly. You are simply noticing the breath that is already happening. Each inhale is a quiet arrival. Each exhale is a gentle letting go. This breath, this simple, rhythmic motion, is the true signal you have been waiting for. It is the ultimate notification from your own body, confirming that you are alive, you are present, you are here. Let's try a simple visualization to aid this process of turning inward. Imagine your awareness, your focus, as a beam of light, just like the lighthouse beam we spoke of earlier. For so long, you have been directing this beam outward, shining it on the bright, demanding, and ultimately unsatisfying screen of your phone. Now, with a conscious and gentle effort, visualize yourself turning that beam of light around. Imagine it slowly panning away from the phone, sweeping across your darkened room, and then turning inward to shine upon yourself. What does this inner landscape look like? At first, it might seem dark or indistinct compared to the sharp clarity of the phone's screen. That's okay. Your inner eyes need time to adjust. Just as your physical eyes adjusted to the darkness of your room, your inner eye needs a moment to attune to the more subtle light of your own interior world. Let the beam of your awareness gently illuminate the landscape of your own body. Shine it on your feet, noticing the sensations there, the warmth, the contact with the blankets. Let the light travel up your legs, bringing a warm, gentle awareness to your knees, your thighs. Let it pool in your abdomen, the area where we so often feel the physical sensations of anxiety and longing. Don't try to change what you find there. Just illuminate it. See it with kindness. This is your inner world. This is your home. Let the light continue upward into your chest, the home of your heart. And here, in this space, is where the real work of release can happen. We can use the breath as the vehicle for this release. With each exhale, imagine you are releasing a small piece of your attachment to the unanswered message. You are not trying to force the feeling away. You are simply opening the door and allowing it to leave if it is ready. Imagine the hope, the anxiety, the disappointment as a kind of smoke or vapor held in your lungs. With each out-breath, you allow a small puff of this smoke to be released. It dissolves into the air of your room, leaving you a little clearer, a little lighter. Inhale and feel the fresh, clean air of the present moment entering your body. Exhale and release the residue of waiting. Inhale peace. Exhale attachment. You can even give the exhale a quiet internal sound, like a gentle sigh of relief. Let each breath be a small act of letting go. You are not letting go of the person you are waiting to hear from. You are not letting go of the possibility of connection. You are simply letting go of the painful, clinging tension of your waiting. You are releasing your white-knuckled grip on a specific outcome, right here, right now. You are choosing the peace of the present moment over the anxiety of an unknown future. As you continue to breathe in this way, you may notice your mind wandering. It might drift back to the phone, back to the person, back to the conversation you wish you were having. This is completely normal. The mind is a creature of habit. When this happens, simply notice where your mind has gone, without any judgment. And then, as gently and as patiently as you would guide a lost child back home, guide your attention back to the anchor of your breath, back to the feeling of the air in your nostrils, back to the rise and fall of your chest. This is the practice. It is a continuous, gentle cycle of noticing your mind has wandered and kindly, lovingly bringing it back. Each time you do this, you are strengthening a new neural pathway. You are building the muscle of your own attention, teaching it that it is possible to find a place of rest within yourself, a place that is independent of external circumstances. The phantom vibrations begin to fade. The inner hum of anxiety begins to quiet down. You are calling all the scattered parts of yourself home, gathering them under the soft, steady light of your own awareness, held safely in the gentle rhythm of your own breath. You are no longer waiting. You are simply here. As your attention settles more deeply within, and the noise of your seeking begins to quiet down, you may become aware of a particular feeling, a particular space inside you. It is the space that the phone checking was meant to fill. Now that the distraction is gone, the feeling itself is more present. It might feel like emptiness, a hollowness in your chest or your stomach. It might feel like a quiet ache of loneliness or a vague sense of lack, of something missing. Our first instinct is often to turn away from this feeling. It's uncomfortable. We immediately want to find something else to fill it with. Another thought, another distraction, another check of the phone. But for these next few moments, let's try something different. Let's be incredibly brave and gentle, and simply stay with the feeling. Let's approach this inner space not as a problem to be solved, but as a landscape to be explored. There is no need to label it as bad or wrong. It is not a void. It is not a failure. It is simply a quiet open space within you. Imagine it as a room inside your own inner house. Perhaps for a long time, you've kept the door to this room closed. Whenever you walked by, You might have felt a draft of loneliness from under the door, so you hurried past, keeping yourself busy in the other, brighter rooms of your mind. Tonight, we are gently pushing the door to that room open. We are turning on a soft, gentle light, and we are stepping inside just to look around. What do you find in this room? Perhaps the walls are bare. Perhaps it is very, very quiet. The air might feel still. Your habit might be to immediately start thinking of how to furnish this room, how to hang pictures on the walls, how to fill it with noise and activity. But for now, let's resist that urge. Let's practice the profound and radical act of letting the room be as it is. Let's let go of the need to fill it immediately. What happens when you just sit with the feeling of emptiness, without judging it, without trying to change it? At first, it might feel uncomfortable, but if you can stay with it, you may notice something remarkable. The feeling begins to change. The emptiness, when met with your calm, accepting presence, starts to feel less like a lack and more like spaciousness. The loneliness begins to feel less like an ache and more like solitude. The silence begins to feel less like an absence and more like peace. This inner space that you are so afraid of, the one you use the phone to avoid, is not a barren wasteland. It is simply an open field. It is a space of pure potential. It is the canvas upon which your life is painted. And for a moment, you have cleared the canvas of all the frantic brushstrokes of your seeking. You are left with the clean, white, and infinite possibility of the canvas itself. Think about it this way. You cannot receive anything new if your hands are already full. All day, you have been clutching onto the hope of a message, your fists clenched tight around that one specific desire. By letting go of the phone, by breathing into the release, you have begun to gently unclench your hands. And what you find in your open palms is this space, this emptiness. It is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that you have finally created the space to receive something deeper, something more nourishing than a fleeting text message. This is the fertile void. In many wisdom traditions, this space is considered sacred. It is the necessary stillness before creation. It is the pause between the notes that makes the music beautiful. It is the deep, dark soil from which all new life grows. You have been running from the very thing that holds the greatest potential for your own growth and peace. Let your body soften into this feeling. Allow the space in your chest to be there. Don't resist it. Breathe into it. Imagine your breath gently swirling within that space, like a soft breeze in an empty room, making it feel less stark and more alive. This space has been here all along. It is a fundamental part of who you are. The phone checking was simply a strategy to avoid feeling it. It was like constantly snacking on junk food to avoid feeling the true, deep hunger for a nourishing meal. The junk food of notifications and digital validation gave you a temporary hit, a quick fix, but it always left you feeling empty again and ultimately malnourished. Tonight, you have put aside the snacks, and now you are feeling the true hunger. And this is good news, because it is only when you feel the true hunger that you will finally seek out the true nourishment. This quiet, open space within you is not asking to be filled by a message from someone else. It is asking to be filled with your own presence, your own kindness, your own acceptance. It is asking for you. It is asking for you to come home to yourself and to simply be here without needing anything to be different. As you continue to rest with this feeling, you may find that its character changes even more. The emptiness becomes a sense of profound calm. The quietness becomes a deep, resonant silence. You are not lacking anything. You are simply empty of the struggle, empty of the frantic seeking. You are full of peace. You are full of presence. You have discovered that the void you are running from is actually a sanctuary. It is your own private inner cathedral. And the only thing that was ever missing from it was you. So rest here. Rest in your own beautiful, sacred, and spacious emptiness. There is nothing to do. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing to fix. There's only this moment and your gentle, loving presence filling the space that was waiting for you all along. Let's find a new name, a new image for this inner space we've been exploring. The words emptiness or void can feel heavy, even a little frightening. They carry a sense of lack. But what you are experiencing is not a lack. It is a presence. It is the presence of possibility. So let's reframe it. Let's call this space a fallow field. A fallow field, to a farmer, is not empty or useless. It is a field that is being intentionally left to rest. The farmer is not planting crops in it for a season. They are not demanding anything from it. They are allowing it to simply be. And in this period of rest, something magical happens. The soil replenishes its nutrients. It becomes richer, darker, more fertile. The rest is not an absence of activity. It is a different, quieter, and more profound kind of activity. The field is gathering its strength for future growth. It is healing. It is restoring itself. This is the space you are in now. Your heart, your mind, your attention, they are your inner field. And for so long, you have been planting the same demanding crop in this field, the crop of waiting. You have been constantly tilling the soil with your hope, watering it with your anxiety, checking it constantly for any sign of a sprout. And this has left the soil of your inner world depleted and tired. Tonight, by putting the phone down and turning inward, you have decided to let that field lie fallow. You have stopped planting. You have stopped demanding. You are simply allowing the soil of your soul to rest. It is not empty. It is resting. It is fertile. And it is full of a quiet, unseen potential for a kind of growth you couldn't have imagined while you were so focused on that one single crop. The silence in this field is not an absence of a message. It is the presence of peace. It is the sound of the soil breathing. It is the quiet hum of restoration. It is the rich, deep silence that is necessary for anything new and beautiful to grow. Think of this silence as the canvas. You have been so focused on one tiny corner of the canvas, waiting for someone else to paint something there, that you have forgotten that the vast, beautiful, and untouched canvas is a work of art in itself. The pure white space is not a lack of a painting. It is the potential for all paintings. And for now, the most beautiful thing of all is the quiet perfection of the canvas itself. Or, if you prefer a different image, let's visualize this inner space as a calm, deep lake. For much of the day, your mind has been like the surface of a lake on a windy day, choppy and agitated. Each time you checked your phone, it was like someone throwing a stone into the water, a spark of hope, splash, a wave of disappointment, ripples spreading outward. Another check, another splash. The surface of your mind has been in constant motion, unable to find stillness, unable to reflect anything clearly. Now, the wind has died down. The stone throwing has stopped. And for the first time in a long time, the surface of the lake of your mind is becoming still. As the ripples slowly fade away, the water becomes as smooth as glass. And what happens when the water is perfectly still? It becomes a perfect mirror. It can now reflect the sky. It can reflect the vast, quiet beauty of the present moment. While the surface was agitated, all it could reflect was its own turmoil. Now that it is calm, it can reflect the truth of what is here. The peace, the quiet, the soft darkness of your room. This is the state you are gently moving toward. You are not trying to force the lake to be still. You are simply ceasing the activities that were disturbing it. The stillness is its natural state. Peace is your natural state. It is not something you have to create or achieve. It is something you simply have to return to. And you return to it by letting go of the disturbances. This inner space, whether you see it as a fallow field or a calm lake, is your birthright. It is the source of your resilience, your creativity, and your deepest wisdom. The modern world, with its constant demands for our attention, conspires to keep us from ever experiencing this space. It wants to keep our fields constantly planted, our lakes constantly agitated, because in that state of unrest, we are more easily controlled, more easily sold to. We are convinced that the solution to our unrest is outside of ourselves, in a product, in an experience, and yes, in a message from another person. But the great secret, the quiet revolution, is the discovery of this inner sanctuary. It is the realization that everything you were seeking on the outside, peace, validation, a sense of wholeness, is already present within you, in this quiet, fertile, and reflective space. The message you were hoping for might have given you a momentary feeling of warmth, a fleeting sense of being valued. But resting in this inner field, being held by this calm inner lake, gives you something far more profound and lasting. It gives you a sense of your own inherent value, a warmth that is self-generated and cannot be taken away. It is the difference between getting a single cup of water from someone else and discovering a deep, fresh, and inexhaustible well within your own backyard. You no longer have to wait, thirsty and dependent. You can draw from your own source whenever you need to. So, feel the richness of this fallow ground. Sense the deep, reflective peace of this still water. This is not emptiness. This is fullness. It is the fullness of potential, the fullness of peace, the fullness of you, finally at rest, finally home, in the beautiful, quiet landscape of your own soul. The world can wait. The messages can wait. Tonight, your only task is to be the gentle farmer, the patient guardian of this lake, and to simply allow this sacred process of restoration to unfold. There is nothing more important you could possibly be doing. Now that we have discovered this quiet, fertile space within, let us perform a small, gentle ceremony, a conscious act of release. We have been talking about letting go, but now we will guide our bodies and our hearts through the actual process. This is the core of the metamorphosis, the moment the caterpillar decides to dissolve. Let's begin by calling to mind, one last time, the specific message you were hoping for. Allow yourself to feel the shape of that hope. What did it feel like in your body? Perhaps it was a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach, a kind of buzzing energy in your limbs. Don't be afraid of this feeling. Welcome it. See it clearly, not as an enemy, but as a part of you that has been trying to protect you, trying to secure a feeling of connection. Thank this feeling for its diligence. Thank your hope for its incredible persistence. It has been working so hard on your behalf. Now, let's use our imagination, the most powerful tool we have for inner change. I want you to visualize that hope, that entire bundle of expectation and desire, as a small, warm light. See it glowing in the center of your chest. It might be a flickering flame, a pulsating orb, or a steady, gentle glow. This light contains all of it: the desire to be seen, the longing for connection, the specific words you wished you could read on your screen. This light is the energy you have been sending outward, projecting onto another person, hoping they would reflect it back to you. For a moment, just observe this light. See its color, its intensity. Feel its temperature. This is your energy. It belongs to you. It was always yours. The journey of tonight has been about realizing that you have been trying to give this precious light away, making your own warmth dependent on someone else's actions. Now, we are simply going to reclaim it. We are going to draw it back into ourselves, where it can nourish us directly. With your next inhale, I want you to imagine that you are gently drawing that light out of the confined space of your hope and into the vastness of your entire being. Imagine the light expanding from a single point in your chest, spreading like warm honey through your entire body. On the inhale, feel it spreading downward, filling your abdomen, your hips, your legs, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Feel a gentle, soothing warmth blossoming in every cell. Your feet, which may have felt restless, now feel calm and grounded, filled with this gentle, self-generated light. On your next inhale, imagine that light spreading upward from your chest. Feel it flowing into your shoulders, melting away any remaining tension. Let it pour down your arms, into your hands and your fingers. Your hands, which were so recently coiled around the act of seeking, can now relax, open, and full, bathed in this inner warmth. Let them rest, knowing their work is done. They do not need to seek for light. They are filled with it. And on your next inhale, feel the light rising further, up your neck, soothing the muscles there and filling your entire head. Imagine it bathing your brain in a soft, calming glow, quieting the frantic, searching thoughts. Let it soften the tiny muscles around your eyes, your jaw, your forehead. Your entire body is now filled with this warm, gentle, and loving light. The light that was once a small, anxious flicker of hope for an external message has now been transformed into a steady, radiant, and all-encompassing glow of self-acceptance. It is no longer a question directed outward. It is an answer that fills you from within. You did not get rid of the hope. You transformed it. You have alchemized the energy of seeking into the energy of being. You have taken the raw material of your longing and spun it into the gold of your own inner peace. Now, let's make this release even more tangible. Pay attention to the physical sensations of this moment. You may notice a profound sense of heaviness in your body, but it is a pleasant, grounding heaviness. It is the feeling of your body finally letting go of the tension of holding on. It is the feeling of surrender. Feel your body sinking a little more deeply into the mattress. Allow the mattress, the bed, the earth beneath you to fully support your weight. You do not need to hold yourself up anymore. You are completely held. You are completely supported. This is the physical sensation of letting go. Now bring your awareness to your hands. Consciously, deliberately, unclench them. If you notice any tightness at all in your fingers or your palms, gently breathe into that tension, and on the exhale, allow them to soften and open. This small physical act is a powerful symbol to your entire nervous system. Unclenching your hands is a declaration that you are no longer grasping. You are no longer clinging. You are open. You are receptive, not to a message from the outside, but to the peace that is already here on the inside. And finally, let's bring this act of release to the heart. Place a hand gently over the center of your chest, if that feels comfortable. Feel the warmth of your own hand on your own body. This is a powerful act of self-comfort. And under your hand, feel the steady, faithful rhythm of your own heart. It has been beating for you every moment of your life, a constant, reliable presence. Silently, in your mind, you can offer yourself a simple phrase, something like, "It is okay to let go now," or "I release the need for this message to arrive tonight," or simply, "I am at peace." Feel the words resonate in your chest, in the space under your hand. You are not commanding yourself. You are giving yourself permission. The permission to rest, the permission to be whole, right here, right now, exactly as you are, without anything needing to be added from the outside. This gentle act of release is complete. The hope has been transformed. The body has let go. The heart has been given permission to rest. You are no longer the lighthouse keeper, frantically scanning a dark sea. You are the sea itself, calm, deep, and whole. In that gentle act of release, something profound has shifted. It is a quiet, internal revolution. You have moved from a state of passive waiting to one of active self-possession. This is the sovereignty of silence. For a long time, the silence was your adversary. It was the enemy. Every moment that passed without a notification was a small defeat, a confirmation of your fear that you were forgotten. The silence felt empty, accusatory. It was a space defined by the absence of what you wanted. But now, the quality of that silence has changed. It is no longer an absence. It is a presence. It is your presence. By consciously choosing not to wait, by withdrawing your energy from that external search, you have filled the silence with yourself. It is no longer empty. It is full of your peace, your awareness, your decision to be whole on your own terms. This is a profound form of power. It is the freedom that comes from choosing not to be a character in someone else's story, waiting for your next line, but to be the author of your own. You have decided that the plot of your evening will not be determined by the arrival or non-arrival of a message. The plot of your evening is peace. The plot is rest. The plot is this quiet, steady return to yourself. Consider the incredible freedom in this. Your emotional state is no longer a fragile boat tossed about on the waves of someone else's communication patterns. You are no longer at the mercy of their busyness, their mood, their own distractions. Your peace is no longer a hostage to their reply. You have brought it home. You have anchored your boat in a calm, sheltered harbor that you created for yourself. The winds can blow, and the waves can crash on the open sea. But here, in this sovereign space, you are safe and still. This is not about anger or resentment toward the other person. It is not about building walls or deciding you don't care. In fact, it is the opposite. It is about caring for yourself so deeply that your well-being is no longer contingent on anyone else. It is the foundation of all healthy connection. True connection is not something that arrives on a screen. That is merely communication. Connection is an energetic and emotional state that is cultivated first and foremost within. It is the connection to your own breath, your own body, your own inherent worth. When you are deeply connected to yourself, you can then connect with others from a place of fullness, not from a place of lack. You offer your presence to them not as a beggar asking for a crumb of attention, but as a host offering a seat at a bountiful table. The interaction becomes a joyful sharing between two whole people rather than a desperate attempt by one to be completed by the other. This metamorphosis from passive waiting to active self-possession is one of the most important journeys a person can take. It is the shift from a childlike state of wanting to be seen and validated by an external authority to an adult state of providing that validation for oneself. We are all on this journey in different ways. The phone is simply the modern arena where this ancient drama plays out. Every time you feel that pull to check and you consciously choose to return to your breath instead, you are taking a powerful step on that path. You are casting a vote for your own sovereignty. This silence that now fills your room is a powerful teacher. Listen to it. What does it have to say? It says that you are complete. It says that you are enough, right in this moment. It says that your worth is not up for debate. It is not pending approval. It is a fundamental, inalienable fact of your existence, like the beating of your own heart. The silence is a mirror, and now that the ripples of your waiting have stilled, it reflects back to you your own essential wholeness. Before, the silence was a question mark. When will they write? Do they care? Now, the silence is a period. It is a statement. I am here. I am at peace. There is a deep and quiet strength in this. It is the strength of a mountain, which is not diminished by the clouds that pass by its peak. It is the strength of a deep-rooted tree, which is not threatened by the wind that rustles its leaves. Your core self, this quiet, sovereign presence you are now inhabiting, is like that mountain, like that tree. The comings and goings of messages, of other people's attention, are like the clouds and the wind. They can be beautiful, they can be interesting, but they do not define your existence. They do not shake your foundation. As you rest in this newfound sovereignty, you might notice a feeling of profound relief. It is the relief of laying down a heavy burden. The work of waiting is exhausting. It is a 24-hour-a-day job, a constant low-level vigilance that drains your life force. Tonight, you have resigned from that job. You have given yourself permission to be off the clock. And in the space that this demanding job once occupied, there is now rest. There is now a quiet, spacious freedom. You are no longer on standby. You are simply present. You are no longer waiting to be chosen. You have chosen yourself. This is the essence of the sovereignty of silence. It is not an empty silence. It is a chosen silence, a rich silence, a silence that is filled with the quiet, unshakable dignity of your own being. You have taken back the throne of your own inner kingdom, and you have discovered that its greatest treasure is not the messages it receives from other lands, but the profound and abiding peace that exists right here, in the heart of the realm. Having reclaimed your sovereignty, having found peace in the silence, we can now take the next step in this metamorphosis. It is time to move beyond simply not needing external validation and to begin actively cultivating it from within. It is time to become your own source. For so long, you have been like a person sitting beside a small, cold campfire, waiting for someone else to arrive with the wood and the matches. You have been hoping they would come and build a fire for you to give you warmth and light. Now you have realized that you are in the middle of a vast, ancient forest, and you have the matches in your own pocket. The potential for a brilliant, roaring fire has been within your own power all along. Let's begin to gently build that fire. We can start with a simple mantra meditation. A mantra is a word or a phrase that you repeat gently to yourself, a way of planting a seed in the fertile soil of your mind. The words themselves have a power, a vibration, that can help to repattern old ways of thinking. Choose a phrase that feels true and comforting to you right now. It doesn't need to be complicated. It could be something as simple as, "I am whole without this message." Or perhaps, "My peace is my own." Or even more simply, "I am enough." Find the phrase that resonates in your heart. And now, let's just rest with it. With each gentle inhale, you can silently say the first part of the phrase to yourself, and with each exhale, the second part. So, breathing in, "My peace," and breathing out, "is my own." There is no need to force it or to strive for a particular feeling. Just let the words float gently in the space of your mind, like leaves drifting down onto the still surface of a lake. Breathing in, "I am." Breathing out, "Enough." With each repetition, you are gently watering that seed of self-worth. You are weaving a new narrative into the fabric of your consciousness. The old narrative was, "I need this message to feel okay." The new narrative is, "I am okay, right here, right now, on my own." Don't worry if other thoughts arise. Don't worry if a part of your mind argues with the mantra. That's normal. Just let those other thoughts be clouds passing in the sky, and gently, kindly return your focus to the words, to your breath. "I am whole without this message." You are replacing the frantic, questioning energy of when, with a calm, declarative statement of I am. Now, let's add a layer of sensation to this practice. As you continue to repeat your chosen phrase, begin to imagine a warmth spreading from the very center of your being. It might start in your chest, in the area of your heart, or in your solar plexus, just below your ribs. Imagine a small, golden ember beginning to glow in that space. It is the ember of your own inherent worth, your own life force. It has always been there, perhaps just dormant or forgotten. With each repetition of your mantra, imagine you are gently blowing on that ember. Each "I am enough" is a soft, steady breath that encourages the ember to glow a little more brightly. Feel the warmth begin to spread. It's a gentle, nourishing warmth, not a harsh, demanding heat. It feels like the warmth of the sun on your skin on a perfect afternoon. It feels like the warmth of a perfectly brewed cup of tea held in your hands. It is a warmth that soothes, heals, and reassures. Feel the self-generated warmth spreading outward from your center. Let it fill your entire torso, flowing into every organ, every muscle, every cell. It is the feeling of self-acceptance. It is the physical sensation of your own love for yourself. This warmth is more satisfying and more sustainable than any warmth that could come from a notification on a screen. The warmth from a message is fleeting. It's like a quick flash of heat from a matchstick, bright for a moment, and then gone, leaving you in the cold again. This inner warmth is like a well-tended hearth. It is steady. It is reliable. It is yours to nurture and enjoy. whenever you choose. You are not just saying the words, "I am enough." You are beginning to feel the physiological truth of that statement. You are embodying it. The feeling of being whole is not just an idea. It is a physical sensation, a warmth, a softness, a deep and quiet hum of well-being that resonates through your entire body. Notice the difference. The state of waiting feels tense, contracted, cool. The state of self-possession feels relaxed, expansive, warm. You are literally changing your own body chemistry through the power of your focused, loving attention. You are becoming your own source of the very brain chemicals, the dopamine, the oxytocin, that you were hoping the message would provide. You are learning that the pharmacy is not outside of you. The pharmacy is within you, and you are the wise pharmacist, capable of dispensing exactly the right medicine of kindness and self-acceptance, in exactly the right dose, right when you need it. Let this warmth, this glow, become your new anchor. If your mind starts to drift back toward the phone, toward the old story of waiting, gently guide it back, not just to your breath, but to this feeling of inner warmth. Let this feeling be the proof, the undeniable evidence that you have everything you need to be at peace right now. The light you were seeking from that small, glowing screen was but a pale imitation of this. You were looking at a photograph of the sun, when the real, living sun was waiting to rise within your own heart. And now, it is rising. Gently, peacefully, and with a beautiful, undeniable warmth, it is rising. And it is illuminating your entire inner world with a light that can never be extinguished. We have arrived at the heart of this metamorphosis, the peak of the transformation. You have turned from the screen, acknowledged the universal echo of waiting, released your attachment, claimed your sovereignty, and kindled a fire of self-worth within. Now comes the most beautiful and integrating step of all. You become the source of the very message you were waiting to receive. For a moment, think about the words you were hoping to read. What was the essence of the message you longed for? Was it, "I'm thinking of you"? Was it, "You are important to me"? Was it, "I miss you"? Or, "I appreciate you"? Perhaps it was simply an acknowledgement, a sign that you exist in their world. Whatever the specific words were, they all boil down to a core set of universal human needs: to be seen, to be valued, to matter. You were waiting for someone else to deliver these feelings to you, packaged in a small bundle of text. Now, you will deliver them to yourself. This is not a consolation prize. This is the ultimate prize. It is the discovery that the person you were most desperately needing to hear from was all along you. So, let's craft that message, the message you needed to hear. Gently, lovingly, begin to offer yourself the words. You can speak them silently, in the quiet sanctuary of your own mind. Let them be simple, and let them come from the wisest, kindest part of you. The part that has been watching this whole drama of waiting with infinite compassion. Start with your own name. Speaking your own name to yourself is a powerful act of recognition. Silently, say your name as if you were speaking to a beloved friend, and then offer the words, "You are worthy of love and attention. It's okay. You are not forgotten. Your peace is so important. I'm so glad you are choosing it tonight. You are whole and complete, exactly as you are." Find the words that your own heart needs to hear the most right now. It might not be a grand declaration. It could be something incredibly simple and gentle. You can rest now. You have done enough for today. I am here with you. You are not alone. Feel the resonance of these words. They are not coming from an external, unreliable source. They are rising from the deep well of your own inner wisdom. There is no doubt about their sincerity. There is no anxiety about whether they will be taken away. They are a fundamental truth, spoken from your core to your core. This is not an act of ego or arrogance. It is an act of profound self-compassion. It is the gentle reparenting of the parts of you that feel small, anxious, and unseen. You are becoming your own safe harbor, your own greatest comforter, your own most steadfast and reliable friend. Now, let's deepen this experience. Let's move it from a thought in the mind to a feeling in the body. Imagine these words of self-worth are not being typed onto a screen, but are being inscribed gently upon your own heart. Imagine them written in soft, glowing letters, not with ink, but with pure, loving energy. As you repeat your phrases, I am worthy, I am at peace, I am enough. Visualize these words appearing in the space of your chest, glowing with the warm, golden light you cultivated in the last chapter. They are becoming a part of you. They are not just something you are saying, they are something you are. These words, inscribed on your heart, are the ultimate notification. They are the only one that truly matters. This is the peak of the transformation, the moment the seeker becomes the source. The thirsty person becomes the well. The one waiting for the light becomes the light itself. You have completed a sacred alchemical process. You have taken the base metal of your anxiety and your longing, the leaden weight of waiting, and you have spun it into the pure gold of self-love and inner peace. This is the message you were truly waiting for. All along, the universe was not conspiring to send you a text message. It was conspiring to guide you on this journey, to lead you to this exact moment of profound self-discovery and self-acceptance. The silence from the other person was not a punishment. It was a gift. It was the sacred pause, the space that was necessary for you to finally turn your attention inward and find the treasure that was waiting for you there. If the message had arrived, it would have been a momentary relief, a temporary fix. You would have felt better for an hour, or maybe a day, and then the cycle of waiting and needing would have begun again. The silence, in its own mysterious and compassionate way, has offered you a permanent solution. It has offered you the key to your own freedom. Feel the deep, quiet truth of this in your body. There is a sense of completeness now, a feeling of rightness. The restless seeking energy has dissolved, and in its place is a profound and simple sense of being. You are not waiting for anything. You are not lacking anything. You are simply here, in your own presence, filled with your own light, comforted by your own words of love. This is a state of grace. It is a homecoming. You have traveled a long and difficult journey tonight, from the bright, demanding screen to the deep, quiet center of your own heart. And here, in this sacred center, you have found what you were looking for all along. It wasn't in the phone. It was in you. It was you. Rest in this knowing. Let it settle into your bones, into your cells. This is your truth. This is your power. You are the source. You are the message. You are the love you were looking for. And you can never, ever be lost to yourself again. As you rest in this state of wholeness, bathed in the warmth of your own acceptance, notice how the landscape of your perception has changed. The world feels different now, not because the world has changed, but because you have. Your inner state is the lens through which you experience reality, and you have just polished that lens to a radiant clarity. Let's return our awareness for a moment to the phone, that small, dark object resting on your nightstand. Earlier, it seemed like the center of the universe, a powerful moon pulling the tides of your emotions. Now, from this new vantage point, see how its power has diminished. It is once again just an object, a cool, quiet stone. The intense emotional charge it held has been neutralized. It is no longer a source of anxiety or a symbol of lack. It is simply a tool, and a tool that you are not in need of right now. The gentle, steady glow you have cultivated within yourself is now so much brighter, so much more compelling than any light that screen could ever produce. Imagine your own inner calm as a soft, warm light, like the light of a candle or a hearth fire. It's a living light. It flickers gently with your breath, and it fills your entire being with a sense of peace and safety. Now, compare that to the light of the phone. The phone's light is a harsh, blue-white, and demanding light. It is the light of the sterile office, the insistent interrogation room. It is a light that agitates and stimulates. Your inner light is the light of the sanctuary, the cozy living room, the sacred space. It is a light that soothes and calms. You have simply chosen the more beautiful, more nourishing light. You have come to realize that you prefer the gentle, life-affirming warmth of your own inner sun to the cold, artificial glare of that distant, digital star. The external world, with all its demands and all its silences, begins to fade into the background. The urgent drama of the unanswered message now seems like a story happening in a faraway land, a play you were once intensely invested in but are no longer watching. You have left the theater and have come home to the quiet peace of your own house. The question of whether the message will arrive tomorrow, or the day after, or ever, has lost its emotional weight. It has become a simple logistical fact, like wondering if it will rain next week. It is a possibility that exists in the world, but it is no longer the axis around which your peace of mind revolves. Your peace is here. It is present. It is independent of that outcome. This shift is a profound liberation. You have uncoupled your well-being from the unpredictable and uncontrollable actions of another person. Your bedroom itself feels different now. When you began this journey, the room was a waiting room. It was an antechamber to a future moment you were hoping for. The air was filled with a silent tension, an unasked question. Every shadow, every sound seemed to be a part of this vigil of waiting. Now, the room has transformed. It is no longer a waiting room. It is a sanctuary. It is a cocoon of self-contained peace. The silence is no longer the silence of absence, but the silence of deep, resonant presence. The darkness is no longer the darkness of loneliness, but the darkness of rest and restoration. You have changed the very atmosphere of the space around you, simply by changing the atmosphere within you. You are the source of the room's peace. Your calm is radiating outward, filling every corner, making the very air feel softer, safer, and more serene. You are no longer waiting for your life to begin when a message arrives. You are fully inhabiting your life, right now, in this moment, in this breath. This is the difference between a life lived in anticipation and a life lived in presence. To live in anticipation is to always be one step removed from your own experience. to be constantly looking over the horizon of the present moment for what is coming next. It is a state of perpetual dissatisfaction with what is. To live in presence is to arrive fully in the landscape of the now. It is to find the richness, the beauty, and the completeness of this moment just as it is. Tonight, you have made the journey from anticipation to presence. You have arrived. Welcome home. Feel the profound rightness of this state. This is how you were meant to feel. This is your natural state of being. The anxiety of waiting was an aberration, a temporary cloud obscuring the steady, peaceful sun of your true nature. Now the clouds have parted, and you can feel the warmth of your own being, unobstructed. The external world will always be a place of noise, of demands, of comings and goings. People will be busy. Messages will go unanswered. Expectations will be unmet. This is the nature of life. But you have now discovered a place within you that is untouched by all of that. You have found the calm, silent center of the hurricane. The storm can rage all it wants, but here, in your center, you are still. You are safe. You are at peace. And this sanctuary is not something you have to earn or strive for. It is always here, within you, patiently waiting for you to return. And now you know the way. The path is not through your phone. The path is through your breath, through your body, through the gentle, loving act of turning your attention inward. You have discovered a source of light that outshines any screen, a source of peace that is more reliable than any person, and a sanctuary of stillness in the midst of a noisy world. And it is all you. It has always been you. The transformation for tonight is nearing its completion. The arc of our journey, from agitated seeking to sovereign peace, is now beginning to curve gently downward toward the final and most restorative metamorphosis of all, the journey into sleep. The work is done. The frantic energy of waiting has been alchemized into a deep, quiet calm. The questions that haunted the edges of your mind have been answered, not by an external source, but by the profound and simple truth of your own presence. And so, the silence in your room has undergone its final transformation. It is no longer a question mark, wondering when. It is no longer a period declaring, "I am." It has now become a soft, warm blanket, inviting you to rest. The silence is no longer something to be endured or analyzed. It is something to be wrapped in, something to sink into. It is a loving embrace, holding you as you prepare to drift away. Let yourself be held by this silence. Feel it as a tangible presence in the room, a gentle pressure on your skin, a quiet lullaby for your nervous system. With this shift in your inner state, your body begins to respond. The journey now moves from the mind and the heart into the deep cellular wisdom of your physical form. A natural heaviness begins to descend. It is not the heavy feeling of despair or exhaustion, but the luxurious, grounding heaviness of deep relaxation. Feel this weight in your limbs. Your legs, which may have felt restless earlier, now feel wonderfully heavy, as if they are sinking gently into the mattress, held fast and secure by a pleasant gravity. Your arms, which were poised to reach and to check, now lie still and heavy at your sides, their work completely finished for the day. Feel the weight of your head on the pillow and give yourself permission to release that final bit of control, to let the pillow take the full weight, to let the muscles in your neck completely let go. This feeling of heaviness is a signal from your body that it trusts the moment. It is the physical expression of surrender. Your body is becoming soft. The subtle armor of tension you carried, the readiness to react to a notification, has melted away. Imagine your muscles, which were like tightly wound knots of string, now becoming like strands of soft, cooked spaghetti, loose and pliable. Feel this softness in your shoulders, in your back, in your jaw. Feel it in the tiny muscles around your eyes. There is no need to be on guard anymore. There is no need to be braced for anything. You can be completely, utterly soft, vulnerable in the safest possible way. Here, in the sanctuary of your own bed, in the fortress of your own inner peace. Sinking into the mattress, you feel not only supported by your bed, but by the very earth beneath you. You are held, secure in your own completeness. There is nothing missing. There is no piece of you waiting in an unread message. All of you is here, present, whole, and safe. Our focus now returns, one last time, to the breath, but our attention to it is different now. Earlier, we used the breath as an anchor, a tool to bring our wandering minds back home. Now, the breath becomes the gentle tide that will carry us out to the deep, quiet sea of sleep. Let your focus on the breath become softer, less defined. You don't need to follow it so closely anymore. Just rest your awareness in the general area of your breathing and feel its slow, steady, and gentle rhythm. The rhythm may be slowing down now, all on its own. The space between the exhale and the next inhale might be lengthening, becoming a sweet, empty, and peaceful pause. This is the pause of deep rest. There is no need to rush to the next breath. Your body knows exactly what to do. Your only job is to get out of the way, to trust this ancient wise rhythm that has sustained you every moment of your life. Imagine your breath as a gentle, rolling wave on a perfectly calm ocean at dusk. The inhale is the slow, silent swelling of the wave as it gathers itself. The exhale is the long, soft, sighing release as it spills onto the shore. And the pause after the exhale is the moment of perfect stillness as the water is gathered back by the sea before the next wave begins to form. Let yourself be rocked by this gentle, oceanic rhythm. Each wave carries you a little further from the shore of wakefulness, a little deeper into the mysterious, healing waters of sleep. You can let go of the mantras now. You can let go of the visualizations. You have absorbed their wisdom. Their medicine is already working within you. The conscious, focused part of your mind, the part that has been our guide on this journey, can now begin to dissolve. Its work is done. It can hand over the reins to the deeper, non-verbal intelligence of your dreaming mind, your restorative body. You are drifting, floating on a calm, dark, and silent sea. The thoughts that arise now are becoming less and less coherent. They are like pieces of driftwood floating by, and you have no need to grab onto them, to examine them, or to follow them. You can just let them float on by. You are a boat, untethered from the dock of conscious thought, and the gentle tide of your own fatigue is pulling you out toward the horizon, toward the beautiful and welcoming darkness of the open water. There is nothing to fear. You are safe. You are whole. And you are ready for the deepest rest. The night is no longer a challenge to be overcome. It is a gift to be received, and you are ready to receive it. As you float on the edge of consciousness, on the cusp of this final gentle surrender, let us consider sleep itself as the ultimate metamorphosis. All through this journey, we have explored a conscious transformation, a shift in mindset and emotion that you have actively guided. But the transformation that awaits you now in sleep is of a different order. It is an alchemy that happens in the quiet, mysterious darkness, beyond the reach of your will, your thoughts, or your control. It is a profound act of trust. To fall asleep is to release your grip on the world completely. You let go of your identity, your plans for tomorrow, your memories of yesterday. You dissolve your conscious self into a state of pure being, trusting that the intricate, intelligent processes of your body and mind will continue their work without your supervision. You trust that your heart will continue to beat, that your lungs will continue to breathe, and that the quiet, miraculous work of healing and restoration will unfold within your cells. In this sense, sleep is the final and most complete answer to the waiting you were experiencing earlier. In the state of waiting, you were clinging to control, hoping to manage your own feelings by seeking an external sign. In the state of sleep, you are practicing the art of absolute, unconditional surrender. You are not waiting for anything. You are simply and completely at rest. Think of the caterpillar in its chrysalis. During its metamorphosis, it dissolves into a kind of cellular soup, a state of profound undifferentiation, before it is reformed into the butterfly. Sleep is our nightly chrysalis. We release the solid, defined structure of our waking self and dissolve into the fluid, mysterious world of dreams and deep delta wave sleep. And in this state, we are reformed. Our brains consolidate memories, pruning away the unimportant and strengthening the essential. Our bodies repair muscle, regulate hormones, and restore energy. We are literally taken apart and put back together in a more integrated, more resilient form. The peace you have so carefully cultivated tonight will be woven into the very fabric of your being as you sleep. It will not just be a memory or a mood. It will become a part of your baseline, your new foundation. The new neural pathways you have gently built, the path of turning inward rather than outward, will be strengthened and solidified in the quiet alchemy of the night. You do not have to do anything to make this happen. You only have to allow it. You only have to let go. This is the final beautiful paradox. The greatest transformations do not happen through striving, but through surrender. The seed does not struggle to become a tree. It simply surrenders to the darkness of the soil, to the pull of the sun, and to its own innate blueprint for growth. You have done the work of planting the seed of peace within yourself. Now, you must surrender to the quiet, fertile darkness of sleep and trust that the growth will happen on its own. So as you feel the last threads of your conscious awareness beginning to fray, as the boundary between your thoughts and the silence begins to blur, release all remaining effort. Release the need to get sleep right. Release any lingering thoughts about the journey we have taken. It is complete. Its wisdom is already inside you. Let it all dissolve into the deep, dark, and healing waters that are rising up to meet you. What will you dream of tonight, now that your mind is not anchored to a single anxious hope? What new worlds might your consciousness explore, now that it is free to roam? The universe of your own mind is vast and full of wonders, and tonight, you are giving yourself permission to explore it, untethered and unafraid. Sleep is not an absence. It is not a void. It is a different kind of presence, a different kind of consciousness. It is a journey into the deepest, wisest parts of yourself. And it is a journey you no longer have to be afraid of. because you have learned that even in the deepest silence, even in the darkest night, you are not alone. You are always, always in the company of yourself, and that has become a safe and comforting place to be. You have become your own sanctuary. You have become your own home. And now, it is time to rest in the quiet, peaceful rooms of the house you have built within. The metamorphosis will continue as you sleep, and you will awaken tomorrow, not as a different person, but as a more complete version of the person you have always been. A little more peaceful, a little more whole, a little more free. The light of a new day awaits you. But for now, surrender to the gentle, healing, and transformative magic of the night. There is nothing left to do. There's nothing left to wait for. There is only this quiet, this peace, this gentle, final letting go. Rest now. Sleep well.